And now, please welcome Captain at Eithad Airway, Aisha Mansoori, in conversation with Skift Asia editor, Peden Bhutia.
Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural edition of Skift Global Forum East. Today, I have with me Captain Aisha Mansoori, who recently scripted history as the first female captain of Emirati origin for a commercial aviation. Welcome, Aisha. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And Aisha, as we discuss about how the travel companies can open the doors for tomorrow's leaders, I've had this discussion backstage with you, and we know that the women in the Mansoori family have had this history of shattering glass ceilings. I'd like to tell here that Aisha's elder sister, Major Maryam Mansoori, was the first fighter pilot of the country, female fighter pilot. So Aisha, you did not have to go look too far for inspiration, but tell us about your journey and, of course, the challenges that you had and the support that you received along the way. I'd also like to tell you all that Aisha recently got married.
Yeah.
So it's just been 3 weeks and she's now here with us.
Thank you so much. It was really easy to find inspiration and support. I actually went to an air show with my sister. And when I was in the air show, like before that, there was not many ladies in commercial aviation, so it was not really a field that I would take interest in. I was thinking of multiple things, teacher, doctor, whatever it is, but not a pilot. But in the air show, just being in the airport, seeing the airplanes, I could not resist, so I applied to become a pilot, and that's how I joined Eithad Cadet Pilot Program. And I was lucky because ever since I always say I've been lucky because I've made the decision at 18 years old, and if you ask me today, I say that was the best decision I've ever made.
And we are happy that you made that decision, and you are a trailblazer right now, thanks to that decision. And Aisha, I know that you've been doing this for roughly 15 years, right? So a decade and a half in aviation and in travel. Are you witnessing a change of women leadership roles in travel?
I think it's not just in aviation, but worldwide, I would say. Women have been taking on a lot of leadership roles. Within Eithad specifically, we have an amazing team of ladies, not only in the flight operation division, but also other divisions. Like we have Dr. Nadia, who was the first Emirati female aviation doctor. And today she is leading she's the chief of HR in Eithad. And as a green airline in Eithad, we have great programs for sustainability, and it takes a lot of work and planning because it's still very new division in airlines, and we are committed to be net zero commissions for the year 2050. And the team is led by a female Emirati lady. Her name is Maryam Al-Qubaisi. She's the head of sustainability and excellence. Yes. So within Eithad only, we have a lot of amazing role model, and also like on the broader general in the country, we have a lot of ministers and parliament members who are ladies. So I think it's in the UAE, it's happening, and worldwide as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's commendable that you have so many examples to state on stage right now. And so it's also important that, Aisha, from your own, you've risen through the ranks from a cadet pilot to a captain now. It's very important for travel companies to create an environment in which they can invest in training to upskill labor, which is very important. Like we've talked about the labor shortage all around the world. So rather than hire a new person in a senior leadership role. I know backstage we were talking about some examples. I would like you to share that with the audience here and tell them about how, how companies can work to nurture talent and also build that loyalty base for them.
I think employee engagement is a topic that is no longer for discussion. It's important to have employees engaged within any industry, any company, and in that way they give more and they give with passion. And within Ittihad, I've seen a lot of amazing story of people who joined as like cabin crew, and today they are captains. And it's all through the support of the airline. Like we always give preference to the people who are within the company, and even during hard times like COVID, it's maintaining people is always like a priority for most of the companies, and then creating programs to re-engage them and rehire people back is also very important.
Okay. Also, while we are talking about talent, we should also acknowledge the fact that the Middle East has been going all guns blazing as far as tourism is concerned. They are very, very bullish on tourism, and they want to promote tourism. So when they are doing that, there is also a capacity building factor that comes in. Of course, the Middle Eastern carriers have been doing a fantastic job of ferrying people from one destination to the other. So to support that kind of tourism vision, can you speak a little about how aviation sector is helping that? And you can cite, of course, Etihad's example as well.
I think many cities within GCC and the Middle East are trying to boom as destinations for tourism. And you can see they are trying to attract multiple people. You can see it goes all the way, like there is a growth demand for business jets, and there is also growth demand for low-cost carriers, which tells you there is both, they're attracting all kind of people to come and enjoy the region. So I think it will be amazing. And even within Ittihad, they're trying to factor both. We have our A380, which has the residence, which is almost like a business jet. It's like a 3-bedroom compartment.
Yes, of course.
Yes, and we have also economy class. So I think every company and every airline is competing with products that suits economy or the normal traveler and the ultra high income traveler as well.
And speak a little bit about connections as well, because Middle Eastern carriers some have surpassed and some are on their way to reach pre-pandemic levels. So increasing connectivity, of course, if you have to bring people in, you need to have connectivity to bring them in, right?
Yes, I think you could see that with the strategic alliances that most of the airlines have with each other to connect their own passengers together, and trying to choose different destinations from each other, which brings in more people to connect.
Yeah, also about the fact that, like places like Abu Dhabi, they're trying to make more people fly in from the destination, like the immigration facility that you have.
Yes.
Like you can clear US immigration from Abu Dhabi itself. How has that helped build a tourism base for Abu Dhabi?
I think it makes a lot of difference, especially if you're traveling to the US regularly. It's a lot easier, even if it adds 3 hours to your flight, to cross the immigration here rather than to take an 18 hours journey and get rejected in the US. It has been a game changer and has made Abu Dhabi definitely a stop for people going to the US from all over the Middle East and the Asia Pacific region.
Okay, and Aisha, I would like you to speak a little bit more about, I think these are topics that, our audiences would know, but a little bit more about your journey, a little bit more about how was it at home, and about, your sister, a little bit about Mariam as well.
I started with the Ittihad in 2007. I joined as a cadet. I grew through Ittihad within my ranks, from a cadet pilot to a second officer, then a first officer, then a senior first officer. I was lucky through my career to fly amazing airplanes. I flew the Airbus A320, A330, A380, which was my favorite, and it's been a pleasure for me this week to know that we're bringing it back to service. It is an amazing product. I'm sure anyone who flew it knows it's one of the most amazing aviation products out there. And I was, I see the videos now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got upgraded actually recently, only last August, to a captain. And to be honest, with COVID, I thought it's going to take me another 3 years to recover as all the airlines were struggling. So it came as a surprise that it happened. It was a lot of hard work, but definitely I'm very happy that I reached that stage of my career.
Yeah, and how conducive an environment does Etihad create for women to come to the fore and, to grow? Like you mentioned, so many people in Etihad, women leadership roles.
I was actually just asked this question backstage that is it challenging to be a female pilot? And I say, challenges are equal. It's the same challenge for female and male pilots. It's the time away from the family, it's the night flights, it's the effort you put in the work because it's an intensive training, because there is a level of safety that needs, a high level of safety that needs to be maintained. So it's an intensive training program, an ongoing training program, that because every day there is new updates. Even like with the aircraft that we have in service, sometimes we get regular updates from the manufacturer that we need to study. So I think it's a lot of time and effort spent in work and outside of work. So I would say it's equal challenges, and if you have the passion, if you have the will, if you have the love for what you're doing, you will always excel in it.
Of course, and for someone who's just been married, you're flying off to Chennai tomorrow, and you had a flight yesterday as well, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand that. Aisha, we have spoken about upskilling, we've spoken about investing in training. So how can travel companies also look to include more people from various societal backgrounds and create a platform in which it becomes an all-inclusive environment and an equal opportunity platform?
I think a lot of people, when they think of airlines, they think only of operation side, like pilots and flight crew and cabin crew. But the reality is there is a lot more to it. We have like aviation, the medicine sector, we have the finance, we have the sales team. So it's actually a huge behind the scene team that covers the airline section. And I think it's just a passion. It's about what you like and what you want to excel in. Like I was surprised because we celebrated Emirati Women Day like back in August as well, and so the company was sharing with us number of where the majority of females are, and I was surprised to find out that we have more than 50% of females in the finance sector, which I never expected. I would think any other
I think
sector.
women are good with money.
Yeah,
Is
money
that?
are good with money, I guess. Yes, after this. Yes.
Okay, and Aisha, you have it's like we said, like it's not easy. But can you also talk a little bit about the support that you received along the way from family? Because sometimes it's the family that says that, oh, but this is not a regular, like you said, it's not like a teacher's job wherein you're coming home at a designated time and leaving at a designated time. So just talk a little bit about that.
I think, as I told you, I was lucky to have my sister lead the way. As when I told my family I wanted to join Etihad as a pilot, I think for them it was a relief that I'm not going to be a fighter pilot, more than like a worry that she's going to be a pilot. So they were very happy, very supportive, very proud. And my dad is actually, my brother is also a pilot.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes. My dad, we are 9 siblings. And my dad always like brags and like when we go to a majlis, like a meeting with the other men, he always brags and says, I have 3 pilots, and it's like those are the one that counts from his kids. So my parents have been always supportive and very proud, and also like, to be honest, within the society, like ever since I joined Ittihad, I've been in Ittihad newsletters as, their first female cadet, their first female that flew the 380. I was the only one, so I guess that's why I was always in their newsletter. And to work in the HR, and I have a lot of Emirati ladies always stopping me to say hello, to take pictures. It's like a tremendous amount of support within the company, within the family. So I'm very grateful, I would say.
That's a fascinating story, Aisha, and I hope that you are the first of many to come.
Inshallah,
and I
yes.
hope that you've set an empowering example for the youth in the MENA region. And I hope that the next time we have more people on stage talking about, a similar story.
I'm sure there are already too many examples, but it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.